On the southern edge of Onondaga County, the county where Syracuse, New York is located, there's a grand park called Highland Forest. It's a humongous forest park, and it is often called the Adirondacks of the central New York. It is on top of a mountain that used to be a homestead for about 16 different families, and they couldn't make a go of it over the long winters and hard ground that exists. So it went to tax default, and the county eventually took it over. They couldn't sell it off or anything because it was too far south in the county. It's right on the edge of the next county. So they've had it for a long time, and in the last 15 years they've been turning it into an absolute gem of a place to hang out and do things. It has an incredible view of the valleys of the Finger Lakes eastern region. There are no lakes in this region, but there are all these beautiful valleys with hills and valleys and farms and everything. And they built this fantastic timber frame lodge called the Skyline Lodge. And it's big enough to have weddings and dinner parties and all sorts of things. And you can rent it for around $400 to $700 a night, depending on what you require. And then there are somewhere around 28 and 34 miles of trails, depending on what you're looking for trails. The local historical society has a pioneer museum there with a whole lot of old artifacts from the 1800s when it was a farm. There are 22 miles of ski trails, or approximately 14 miles of bicycle trails. I think there's 20 miles of horse trails, and there's 9 miles of roads. These are some of the ski trails. They're separated out into loops that are short distances, but they all connect together in various places, so you can actually make an 18-mile day out of skiing if you have the stamina for that. It is a top of a hill, although it's hard to believe how much water is usually seeping from the ground being up high, but there have been many changes in the park. This is an old picnic area with some old fireplace pits they don't use anymore. There's quite a few of them here. Here are some of the horses going down a trail. They have a concessionaire that has horses there, or you can bring your own. They have beautiful hay rides, and now everything you see in this little drone flight is part of the park. It's almost all forest. All that you can see in that whole picture right there is part of the park. Lots of trails. Finger Lakes Trail goes through the park. There are 4 cabins that they use for non-profit organizations like the Boy Scouts and church groups can rent for $35 or $40 a weekend. and it's a beautiful day. Hello folks. I have been bad, but I have been obsessed. I have been absolutely obsessed with getting a newer, better camera. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but this camera does not have very good sound because the microphone is part of the camera and it doesn't have and the camera does not have an external mic capability. So I've been thinking 70D, which are really cheap now because of the 80D is out, maybe getting a T6i, but then the T7i came out. However, the lens on this zooms out to 1200 millimeters. I could be like every other vlogger on YouTube and buy a really good camera and have really sharp, good pictures, but I don't know. I think my pictures are pretty good for video. I'm not doing a lot of still shots with fancy, high detailed stuff, but you let me know if you think that my photography is bad. I mean, other than camera shake and framing, I don't think any camera is going to help me with that. Caesar, get out of there. There's probably a skunk under there. Hey, come. Dakota, come on. This is the original farmhouse for this area from the 1800s, and it's pretty historic, but it has some woodchucks living under it, and the boys are always trying to get them, but the problem with the woodchuck dens are that they often are taken over by skunks. And I don't really need them to find any skunks. Although Caesar needs a bath anyway. We are in Highland Forest County Park and walking our regular route. We have a regular route that takes us through places that have water for the boys, because on a hot day like today, it's about 85 or so today, getting them into water is fairly important. Otherwise they overheat, and especially Caesar, he fatigues pretty fast, and he really likes to lay in the water, but it's been pretty wet, so all the water is running. We go by, well, we usually do about 4 miles when we're here, and we go by 5 streams. So I've decided I don't really want to give up the ability to take zoomed in picture subscribers when I did my trip down to Elk County, Pennsylvania, and got some phenomenal video of the elk. Now, it's not sharp and detailed as, you know, professional photographer, but I got pictures of elk butting heads and fighting with each other, and I'm not going to give that up, and I'm not going to carry around 3 or 4 lenses that require me to change from a 18 to 55 to a 300 to 600 or something like that. That just sounds crazy, and it still doesn't get me what this camera is going to do. So this park has so many neat things that are left over from the days of the CCC. I don't know how much is CCC and how much is really from the park. They don't do these kind of things anymore with this stone. I'm going to sit down so I can talk to you a minute. It's tough holding the camera and walking along. And I'm getting sweaty. So I guess the decision I've made, and you guys can help me. You got a stick here. You guys can leave me comments and tell me if you think I should upgrade my photographic ability here with a better camera. I don't think my skill is going to get any better. But I think I'm going to just get the next level up on my current camera, and we're gonna go hike some more. Maybe we'll see some nature stuff we can take some pictures of, and I'll show you how good this camera is with this zoom lens. I really recommend this camera. If you haven't been on my website and looked at my camera equipment under the shopping list stuff, this is a pretty amazing camera in my opinion. You can feel free to buy one off my website. I get 3% or something from Amazon if you do. Anyways, we'll be back when something good happens. Yep, they found their water. Dakota really prefers to tiptoe around in it, but it's a little deep. Caesar's really never learned how to drink. He has a drinking problem. He bites water. He's a good dog. Is it nice? Is it cold? We were walking along the trail just now, and back behind us, this big crashing noise just occurred. I don't know what it could be, but it didn't really sound like a deer. It sounded more like a bear. Have been 4 bear caught within 50 miles of here. I thought I'd get this on video just in case something came up and ate me. You'd have a video of it. I'd have somebody put it on YouTube, don't worry. Okay, so back to the hike. The boys are getting way ahead of me. Hey, you guys. Caesar, wait up for me.